Good evening. I'm delighted to be here and to be part of the community, the intellectual community of the Cogut Institute. And my project for this year is part of my book project that follows the previous book that I wrote, Potential History. And I'm trying to experiment more with this term that I developed as potential history. Potential history is an attempt to engage with the imperial premises of writing history, trying to think beyond accounting for what happened to integrate key concepts like restitution, repair, reparations, or return. So actually, what I'm trying to do in the current project is trying to understand how can we inhabit the world that was destroyed by two imperial or colonial projects, the Jewish-Muslim world. And this world was destroyed by the French colonization of North Africa, mainly Algeria, and the Zionist colonization of Palestine. And the Jewish-Muslim world that was thriving since centuries was destroyed. And I am particularly interested in inhabiting this world from the perspective of the craftsmen, craftswomen, those who build this world. And what I'm doing in this project is trying to ask questions about how different communities were defined not only by the way that the colonizers defined them, for example, in the French colonization of Algeria, defined by, the Jews were defined by their religion, but how people were defined also by their craft, how their craft enabled them to occupy positions within the society, within the Jewish-Muslim society. And what I'm doing in this project is trying to address different people who were engaged with North Africa from different perspectives. Either scholars like Hannah Arendt, who wrote about Algeria in 43, or Frantz Fanon, who spent a few years there and was part of the Algerian Revolution, or addressing my ancestors who lived in Algeria for centuries. And while writing these letters, I'm actually trying to experiment with potential history from a different perspective, or from an additional perspective, which is, what does it mean to engage with others, not through academic writing? And addressing to someone, writing a text that is not addressed to everybody, but is addressed to specific people, creates a certain space that we cohabit together. This is the format of the letter that I am using for inhabiting this world that was proclaimed in existence. So just to give an example, I'm writing to Frantz Fanon, and I'm trying to understand different, affinities in his trajectory in relation to the French colonization from where he's coming, and how he handled it when he arrived to France, and how this intersects, for example, with my father's trajectory joining the French Free Army in 43, but having to leave Algeria earlier. So this is the framework of my project, and I hope that the results will be read later on next year.